What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. So I wanted to do some videos, maybe 2 videos, on something major that's going on, which is called the D23 Expo. So the D23 Expo is this big expo convention-like thing for Disney related stuff. Now it's not really a convention, but it's more like they showcase stuff, so it's like a showcase kind of thing where Disney specifically showcases all sorts of things that are coming out in the next couple of years or in the next year even, and this has been something that's been going on recently, like in the past couple of days or so. Huge deal, super big, and so there's a whole bunch of different things that are going on, and for this video I want to talk about specifically the movies that were talked about. So first of all, they talked about the movie Moana, which is this new movie about this South Pacific Disney princess that's supposed to be coming out in 2018. She's gonna be this brand new princess, new character. We haven't seen her before. Apparently, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's supposed to be playing Maui, which is like another character from the movie, very significant character. And so that's gonna be an interesting thing since we haven't had a Disney princess movie since I guess Frozen, which came out, what, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago practically now. It's crazy to think that, but yeah. So that's something to look forward to, and from the images that they've shown, definitely looks like it could be a pretty good movie. So that was one thing they talked about. Another one was the fact that Toy Story is turning 20 this year. Huge deal, of course. That's for Pixar, of course, again. They had a whole celebration. They had, what's his name? They had the musician that plays all the songs of Toy Story there. They had a whole bunch of other people, and they were promoting Toy Story 4, which is supposed to be coming out in sometime, like, it's rumored to be like 2017, maybe later. We're not really sure yet. Supposedly the story is supposed to be taking place, and it's supposed to be talking about like relationships between Woody and Bo Peep, which is interesting, kind of something that makes me curious about what that means. A while ago we heard rumors, like maybe a year or so ago, which is but still, it's still exciting. There was also talk of Cars 3 eventually. No real confirmation of any details really for that. Who knows when it's coming out or what it's going to be about. Another thing which people have been speculating for months, even years now, and people have been hoping for it since Monsters Inc. got a sequel. Incredibles is getting a sequel finally. Incredibles 2 eventually will come out. No idea when. No idea when a lot of these movies are coming out, but those were like the 4 big movies that were talked about. There was also this movie called Gigantic, which is supposed to be based off of Jack and the Beanstalk. That was talked about a bunch. Not too much, but enough to the point that you get a good enough sense of details and stuff. So that was definitely something significant people were curious about. There were a few other things here and there that were interesting. I'm trying to remember what other movies there were. There were a couple other movies, but like the ones that I've listed so far were probably like the big ones that everyone was curious about. There was lots of different displays, showcases, videos, and lots of things related to Disney. One thing, of course, you have to remember with Disney is that Disney owns properties with Marvel and now with LucasArts. You know, Disney has both. So because of that, seeing as to how this video actually seems like it's pretty short so far, I'm gonna probably go into what they also expanded upon. So they expanded upon certain aspects of the theme parks that they have. You know, Universal. You know, the different things like, you know, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, all those different areas, Hollywood Studios. So like they talked about how they're expanding Star Tours, which is a location where they've had some Star Wars stuff in the past. They're also planning on creating Star Wars Land, which is supposed to be a huge deal. Supposedly going to come out in the next couple years, and it's supposed to allow you to do a whole bunch of, go on a whole bunch of different rides. One of them involves you going on the Millennium Falcon, which is pretty cool, of course. And they're going to actually update the Star Tours that I mentioned before by featuring a scene by featuring some moments from the new 7th movie that's coming out. So it's going to be a huge deal, of course. People are going to be very excited, lining up for sure. There was also talk of the new of the first Marvel ride for Disney, which is of course a huge deal because for the longest time Disney now owns Marvel, but we hadn't gotten any rides or anything. So apparently Shanghai, you know, which is in China, is going to be the first area that's going to get their own Marvel ride is going to be called Iron Man Experience. It's called the Iron Man Experience. So you're basically going to be going through a simulator like thing where you're able to get to experience Iron Man and go along on an adventure with Iron Man. Smart idea, interesting one. They even had Stan Lee pop up at one point, and he joked around and said, and like he ended up saying to one of the guys that was speaking, like, don't you know who I am? I'm the greatest cameo actor ever. And it's so true though, because if you know how he is, he's always in every single one of his movies nowadays. So it's just kind of funny for him to say that. And you know, he's like 95. I mean, it's pretty old, something like that, 95. Crazy. So that was a huge deal, of course. Lots of other people showed up. Danny Elfman showed up at one point. He got recognized. George Lucas showed up. There was even some showcasing of the Marvel movies that are coming out. Like they showcased some clips of Civil War for Captain America, and the person that plays Steve Rogers showed up, which was a huge deal, of course. They were actually still filming in Germany at the time, and they actually flew right out just to do D23, which is a huge deal. They also talked about Doctor Strange, which is a movie that was talked about. I'd say it was fall of last year. They talked about that movie being a thing. They also talked about Black Panther and a couple other things. Of course, those are movies that are supposed to be coming out eventually. And they showed off some clips, and apparently a lot of different characters are making appearances in Civil War, which is a great thing because, of course, that means that it's a lot to get hyped about. I mean, most of the Avengers are showing up. Ant-Man's showing up. They're supposed to, the Guardians of the Galaxy are supposed to show up either, no, not in that one. They're supposed to be showing up in the new Avengers, but that's coming out in 2018, I believe. So that's not even relevant right now. But like a lot of different characters that are recent are showing up. Black Panther's supposed to show up. Black Widow, you know, Hawkeye. All these characters are supposed to be showing up. You know, so many different characters from all these superhero movies coming out are going to show up. And this movie is coming out in 2016 May. Like that's not that far. I mean, that's far, but it's not that far away. I mean, what? It's like, what, 9 months away? It's not that bad. Like, I can tell you this much, there are movies that are going to take way further in time. So just knowing that all these movies are coming out, it's exciting. And knowing that all these expansions are being done to the theme parks, you know, they're adding in that new Star Wars area. They're adding in, they're also expanding the Toy Story area that they had. So they're going to create like Toy Story Land. They're going to have like an area for like the claw from the first movie, where like you're going to Pizza Planet or something like that. And it's supposed to be very creative. There's also supposed to be like a Slinky ride, a Slinky roller coaster. If you remember Slinky from the first movie, especially, you know, he was the big dog that looked like a Slinky, but like the back end was a tail and the front end was a dog face, and so it's a Slinky roller coaster. They're creating that, and it's supposed to be like a separate section specifically for Toy Story. And of course, Toy Story Mania was the original ride that everyone knew about for years and has been there for a while, but they're trying to do something that they did with Cars, where they tried to recreate Radiator Springs. In this case, they're going to recreate the feeling of Andy's backyard, which is interesting because it brings up questions about like what could they do. Now, of course, they're going to probably take a lot of things from the first movie, but you never know. Maybe they'll take certain aspects from the movie that'll become the fourth movie, maybe the second movie, maybe the third movie. We don't know yet. And that also brings up ideas like maybe we'll see characters that usually aren't shown at the park, like other than Buzz and Woody that are typically shown there. Maybe we'll see you know, Ham or Mr. Potato Head or Lotso even. I mean, we don't know yet. Bo Peep, who knows? Rex, someone. Maybe. Nothing said for sure right now. It's all up in the air, I have to say. So it's a lot of really great stuff, and I'm just talking about like some of the major ones. There's a lot of other smaller bits and a lot of things that were major that I can't just think about right now because there was so much that went on, and I'm not even sure if it's done right now, but from what I saw, they definitely covered a lot. There's also supposed to be a special. They're also doing a lot of events for the Star Wars movies. Like they're going to have a special time in the beginning of next year where certain attractions will be based in the Star Wars universe. So like they'll have like Space Mountain will be called Hyperspace Mountain, where it's supposed to be based in the Star Wars universe. That's exciting, of course. They're even expanding Animal Kingdom. They're creating an area called Pandora or something like that, which is supposed to be based off of Avatar. Avatar, of course, has been out for like a couple years now, and people may think it's been a while since that movie was out. Still, sounds exciting, could be interesting. I'm sure there'll be some interesting attractions from that, and they're trying to create that Indian civilization kind of idea. That's kind of smart, kind of different. I like it. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think of all this news, and what you know about it, and what you guys are hoping for and are looking forward to. There's also one last thing I can say is that there also was a little bit of talk of Wreck-It Ralph 2. Nothing said for sure, but there's always some speculation going around that maybe they'll do something with Wreck-It Ralph 2 about, and of course that movie did super well. They're also expanding Frozen. That's one other thing I just remembered. Frozen, they're adding a whole area in Epcot to expand on that, with a boat ride and some lifelike characters for like lifelike characters being there, and that should be interesting. So it's really, really exciting. If you're a Disney fan, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're even a Star Wars fan, you have something to look forward to. You're not missing out. There's just something for everyone. You have something to look forward to, and everyone's getting involved in some way, and it makes people who are Disney fans, Marvel fans, and Star Wars fans really happy. And believe me when I say this, I'm all three. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this again. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about all this, what things you're looking forward to, what your hopes are for this, and what concerns you might have if you have any. Tell me all that below. I would love to know. Thank you guys again for watching, and goodbye.